Anxiety after trauma doesn't just go away just because you're no longer with the person that was creating the trauma, just because you leave the home of your parents or whoever in your life was creating that trauma. The anxiety doesn't go away when they're gone. I think that was the hardest part when I was on my road to recovery. I can literally remember standing in front of the kitchen and just kind of looking around, knowing I had things that I had to do, and yet feeling like I didn't know where to start. So it's almost like the anxiety, like I could see all the things I had to do and wanted to do in front of me at the same time. And my brain couldn't pick a starting point. And so it was like I would stand there and just feel overwhelmed. I had no time for myself at times. I didn't, again, I think anxiety itself took up so much of my time. Being anxious was like stealing my time because instead of doing things, I was dealing with the anxiety. And then it's like your thoughts have a field day with that, right? So your thoughts are looking at you wasting time being anxious. And it's just like they're pounding you with negative thinking. And that negative thinking is just fueling the anxiety. And you're stuck in what's called the limbic system trauma loop. So I want to share with you guys something that helped me. What I found was before I could even start getting my life together, like the external things in my life, including my house, which at times was a mess because like I said, I didn't even know where to start. The first thing that I had to do was start calming the anxiety in my body. One of the first things I realized was that I was stuck in what's known as your sympathetic nervous system. So I was stuck in fight or flight. And one of the fastest ways to know if you're stuck in fight or flight is to just notice how you're breathing. Putting one hand on your chest and one hand on your diaphragm and just breathing normal right now. Which hand do you feel moves up and down? Is it your top hand, your bottom hand, or both? If your top hand is moving at all, even if your diaphragm is expanding, you're not breathing diaphragmatically. You're breathing through your chest. And when we breathe through our chest, our body is communicating to our brain that we aren't safe. Trying to overcome anxiety when you're breathing like that is kind of like trying to slow down a car with your foot floored on the gas pedal. Okay, it's not going to happen. It's the same thing with anxiety. We have to change how our body is communicating with our brain in order to change how we're feeling inside. And so what we need to do is have our body communicate that we are safe. And when we do diaphragmatic breathing correctly, that's what we're doing. We are putting ourselves in our parasympathetic nervous system state. And when we're in our parasympathetic state, it communicates to our brain that we are safe. Trying to not feel anxious while stuck in your sympathetic nervous system is going to set you up for failure. Trust me, I tried it. It doesn't work. Okay. So the one thing I wanted to tell you today is one of the first steps that I learned to help me on my healing journey, and that was to start putting the brake on the nervous system. And you can do that with diaphragmatic breathing.